Hi guys, it is Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic. So, this is your long-awaited About Me video. I asked you guys a bunch of questions that you wanted to know about me to get to know me better because I realized that you guys kind of don't know too much about me. I kind of blew up essentially overnight via the successful James Charles reading, and there wasn't much backstory for you guys, so I'm here to kind of fill in the gaps. You'll notice that the background is a little bit different. I have moved. I did move from New York to Austin. That's kind of why I was laying low a little bit and why you didn't see me everywhere like all the time when everything was happening. So it's actually in the process of moving across the country. So I am slowly getting settled in. You notice there's a little bit of an echo because not all of my furniture is here, but a large portion of it is, and I'm starting to get back into the groove of things. So hopefully you guys kind of enjoy the new scenery, and you can kind of see that I'm kind of dressed the part. I literally, match the background. Anyways, that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and just kind of get into it. I did want to mention a few things. First and foremost, if you did purchase a reading from me when I went viral, I got 400 orders in 1 hour. Before we could like shut off the website and just like chill out and stop it, because I am one person and 400 is a lot in an hour. There are currently 170 left. I'm going to try my best to get through all of those within the next 2 weeks. It may get extended to 3 weeks. It depends on how quickly I can go. I've been moving. There's a lot of stuff happening. Like it's big. There's a lot of things happening at once. And this Texas heat is definitely killing my hair, if you haven't noticed. So if you have any tips or suggestions for things for my hair to kind of help me with this humidity, I'd really appreciate it. So it'll take me a little bit, but hopefully I can finish the last 170. If your order number was a little bit in the beginning, because I think I'm at like 5,800 and something. If it's before, then check your spam folder. It will be in spam. However, I do have an announcement to make. If you go to antphrodite.com right now, you can sign up to my email newsletter. That will be the best way to get information as to when my private readings are available again. I will be sending out an email newsletter. I will also be posting on my social media, so follow me Instagram, Twitter, Antphrodite. Also, I'll be announcing on Twitch as well as YouTube, so Antphrodite on both of those as well. So you guys will know way in advance. I am going to rework the system because I just possibly can't have this many at once and need to be a little bit more exclusive with my free time. However, you will always be able to get readings on my Twitch. If you haven't gone and checked me out there, you're missing out. We have fun over there. It's really a great time. So hopefully you guys check that out at some point. There is a system over there as well that's slowly being reworked that you'll be able to get a reading. A lot of people have been getting readings over there as well. So that's kind of the reading situation. Also, what I'm doing for the leftover orders, and we'll talk about a little bit more what I'm going to do the next batch. But for this batch, it is done via audio format. You're going to get it. You have to remember these were like quick little things that we're able to do offline, and so you're going to get like an audio that's like maybe like 4 to 6 minutes tops of me going over your spread, and then I'll give you a picture of your spread and I send it to you in an email. It's the email you purchased with. Most people have gotten theirs and have loved it. The feedback has been great. So, but the next time we'll do it a little bit differently. I'll let you guys know. That being said, why don't we just jump right in to the questions. The first one that I want to talk about is kind of like the whole aftermath of this situation that went down. So I'm sure most of you are familiar now that the James Charles reading came true in the biggest way imaginable. I don't think anybody could have really figured out or predicted the magnitude of that video and what would happen. I definitely am. You have to understand I'm an empath, okay? I think that's something that really is a little bit misunderstood. I'm an empath, so I feel really intensely and I feel other people's feelings, and I do what I do to help other people. So that's why people keep asking me, make another video, make another video. I'm not a drama channel. I'm not interested in drama channels. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong with drama channels, but I am not a drama channel. So I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm here to help other people. And so I'm not going to do every situation that comes across that's drama, whatever the case may be. I'm here to help other people. So if I see something and I predict something, it's a little bit different. So I just want people to understand that, like, I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here to cause problems. I'm not here to like gossip or anything like that. I understand that it's a part of tarot, and that you know, that's a fun aspect of tarot. And I understand there's certain people interested in my videos for different reasons, but I just want to make it clear that my intention is pure and I'm here to help other people. I'm not interested in like causing drama or creating drama or curating drama. You know, I'm literally here to help. So I just want to make that clear, because I love the drama channels. Shout out to Peter Mon. I love you, boo. I will be messaging you soon, because I owe him a big reading for what he's done for me. I'm super grateful. I just want people to know, like, I do this because I love people and I want to help them tremendously. So that's it. There's been a lot of intensity from this. So on top of the fact that I've been moving and it's been really difficult to kind of keep everything together, on top of that, essentially one of the issues that's kind of happened is like there's been a lot of energy and I literally was overloaded and couldn't handle a lot of stuff. Like, you have to understand, when I do things, it's a little bit different than others. I'm going to feel it more intensely. I'm just getting my questions up. I'm going to feel it more intensely. I'm going to, you know, need a little bit more time to recharge. And so when all of this stuff is going down, like, I can't just like go and do. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm just feeling this. So, you know, I got a wave of positivity and a wave of negativity, and it's just like, it was a lot for me. So, you know, you have to bear with me. You know, everything's good now, but like, I have to take a little minute and a step back to really just like breathe and assess. So yeah, I'm hopeful that, you know, most people will remain respectful and allow everyone to deal with things in private. You know, that's the whole situation everyone's talking about, you know, wanting to keep it private now. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's really great. And I think it's where it should be. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing too many, you know, things about all that stuff. Like, I'm not interested in that. I'm here to help people. And that video did what it was supposed to do, which was help sort of get them word out in terms of, like, you know, if someone had seen it beforehand, hopefully, you know, could have prevented it, but that didn't happen, or, you know, hopefully heal people afterwards and really understand what's going on. So anyways, let's just go right into the rest of the questions. So I'm just going to go straight into it. Now, these questions are taken from Instagram and Twitter. I did save all of them. When I made an Instagram post, I saved them all, and Twitter. Okay. Member Antphrodite on all platforms. Okay, so let's get started. When did you know that you wanted to do this for a living? What caused it? So here's the thing. I've always kind of been into psychic stuff. I've always been into ghosts and stuff like that. It's just always been something I've been naturally drawn to. But it's always been like a hobby. It's always been a thing I did. You know, I was always really into astrology. In fact, Sailor Moon is what initially got me into astrology. I was like, ooh, what is this? And what really drew me into astrology as well was the fact that I was like, I'm a Gemini, which, by the way, my birthday is coming up, okay? Friday, June 7th is my 28th birthday. That's another thing. A lot of people are like, this kid. I'm super flattered. I really am. However, I am 28. I know I look young, I act young, but I am 28 years old. So I do want to make that, well, I'm going to be 28. Not yet, girl. We got a couple of days. But yeah, I will be 28 on June 7th, which is this Friday. So hopefully you guys can wish me happy birthday. You know what I want for my birthday? To be able to hit 10,000 followers on Instagram so that I can get the swipe up feature. How about it? But anyways, it's always been a passion of mine. I've always really loved it, and it's kind of been like my dirty little secret. But I never really planned to do it for a living. You know, I don't want to go super in depth with this because I don't want to make this video like depressing and stuff, but I was my dad's caretaker. My dad did have pancreatic cancer, stage 4 initially, and I was kind of his caretaker. I kind of had to give up a lot of my stuff in my life to kind of help take care of him, and that took a toll on me. And then after, when my dad passed away, you know, we didn't really have the best relationship. And so after my dad passed away, I felt like he left this world without leaving. Not that he didn't leave an impact, but I felt like he wasted his potential. And it was very, very important for me to do something that I believed in and that helped other people. Like, I didn't want to just do something for money. I didn't want to just do something for success. I wanted to do something that had a direct impact that could really help other people. And so I was trying to find my stride, and I was trying to find what I should do. And, you know, my friends at the time, you know, were like all my life, you know, I've always heard, you have a personality for TV. You should do TV. You should do reality TV. You should do this. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want them to make me look crazy or whatever the case may be. And they don't really pay that much. And then I look crazy on TV. It was just like, whatever. And so my friend was like, why don't you just start a Twitch stream? Why don't you just start streaming? Just put it on. I was like, okay. So I put on the stream. This was May 7th of 2017. I turned on a stream and immediately 10 people were in there calling me names and harassing me. And I was like, why is my light on? Because that means like I was drawing people to me. So my light was on like a lighthouse. I was like, why is my light on? Why are people drawn to me? How did you even find me? And so someone asked me, because they saw in the background, I had my cards, my tarot cards. I didn't even realize I had them in the background. My friend was like, my friend, I don't remember if it was my friend who asked me, if it was a random person. See, this is the part that I don't remember because it was 2 years ago. I don't remember if my friend had asked me for the first reading or if it was a user. It doesn't matter. Anyways, someone asked me for a reading. I was like, sure, okay, I'll do a reading. I did the reading. They loved it. Another person came in. Hey, were those tarot cards? I was like, yeah. Can you give me a reading? Sure. They loved it. I was like, okay, I didn't think anyone would care about tarot. I didn't think anyone would want it. And then I did that for 3 hours, shut off the stream. I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. That was so much fun. Let me go do that again tomorrow. Doubt anyone will show up, but I'll do it again. And then I did it, and someone was like, oh my God, my friend gave me this. My friend gave me that. Oh my God, my friend got a reading. And it was just like, my friend recommended you. My friend recommended you. And word of mouth, it just became that. And I won't go super in depth with the story because that is for another day. But what I will say is once I realized that things started to, like, it just naturally happened. Like, people just started to be drawn to me. They started coming to me in droves, asking me for readings. And then I started having to build a business model around this. I built that on my own. I literally built a business model on my own based around Twitch. Like, I built this entire thing from the ground up on my own through trial and error. So I probably will at some point have a really big video about that. I've talked about this on panels. Last year's TwitchCon, I was on the Pioneering on Twitch panel. I'm sure you can find that on the internet. And I talked a little bit about this. I'm sure this year's TwitchCon will probably do something similar again when we get a full in-depth about that. But that's kind of how it started, is like, tarot chose me. I didn't choose it. People just kept asking me for them because they really enjoyed their readings. It was something I did for people in private and in my own time. It's not something I really advertised, and then it just happened. I just became a tarot streamer. I became a tarot reader. It just happened. So I basically was just playing catch up with the energy. The energy's like, this is what we're doing for you, and this is what you're doing, and you better get really prepared. So yeah, that kind of answers that question. I gotta answer a little bit quicker, but I'm a Gemini, okay? Once I get going, girl, it ain't stopping. And there's no editing in this video, so this video is gonna be long as. Okay. How do you de-stress? This is a very, 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 very complicated question. Really difficult. I know a lot of people like, how are you so upbeat? How do you like, whatever. Changing your vibration, raising your vibration. So one of my favorite Sagittarians in the world and my favorite person in the world, Brittany Jean Spears, has said, I choose to be happy. It's one of my favorite quotes from For the Record. If you never watched For the Record, you should. And she talks about how she chooses to be happy. Very Sagittarian of her. She chooses to be happy. Like, it's a choice. And I choose to be happy and optimistic. I do have a Sag ascendant, which helps. But it's one of those things where I try to raise my vibration. If I'm, people ask me, how are you so consistent in doing your work? And, I'm a workaholic, and I have a strong work ethic, but like what I do is like, I'll raise my vibration. If I'm having a bad mood, I listen to really upbeat, fun music, right beforehand. I'm watching a TV show that I think is funny. I'm watching a YouTube video or YouTuber that I think is funny, or a Twitch streamer. I'm, eating food that I love. I'm dancing, singing. That's usually what I do. Usually it's like dancing or singing for me. It puts me into the mood. It puts me into a different mindset. It really raises my vibration. It makes me feel good and happy, and that's also how I de-stress. I will say that I wish I had a man's to de-stress, but I'm sure that's one of the questions in coming up. But unfortunately, don't nobody want to date me. I don't know why, but whatever. We'll get into it later. Okay. When and how did you learn you have these psychic abilities? Loaded question. There's a little bit of information on my Antphrodite.com/about. There's a little bit more information. I'm going to try and really go over this pretty quickly and sum it up. Maybe a full-blown story at some point, story time. Essentially, how I believe it to be is, this is the best way I can describe it. There's a 2-valve system. Now, we're ourselves. Naturally, we're born ourselves, and then we learn to tap into our intuition, right? For me, I was born with my intuition, and I had to learn how to tap into myself. I would constantly be like, oh my God, this person's lying. Oh my God, this person's lying. Why are you lying to me? And they'd be mad, and they would be combative, and I ended up being right and being proven right months later, but nobody believes me, and so I start to get frustrated and jaded. And it took me so many years, and I'm still unpacking this. I'm almost 28, and I'm still unpacking the fact that I don't operate the same way everyone else does. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm, special or anything like that. It just means I operate differently. I thought, oh, I'm such a logical person. Oh my God, girl, I'm super logical. Like, I'm very analytical. No, not at all. I'm 100% an empath and 100% feeling based. I feel people. When you're talking, I don't hear you, I feel you. When you're speaking, I'm literally feeling you. When I look at you, I'm not seeing you, I'm feeling you. It's taken me so many years to unpack the fact that I am literally feeling everything. I feel everything. There's no other, it's just all feeling. And it's crazy because it's hard to describe this to you, but that's why I'm gonna say it's like a 2-valve system where I'm literally learning who I am because I've had literally my intuition just blasted the whole time, like all feeling. It's crazy. It's hard to describe, but it's the best way I can describe it is like synesthesia, whatever, when you can like taste color. It's like that. That's what it's like. That's literally what it's like, where it's like I'm feeling things that normal people see or hear. It's crazy and it's hard to describe, and it's taken me forever to unpack. I'm sorry I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's just the truth. That's kind of it. Like, I've kind of just realized that, like, when you get information, I get information in my dreams. I've predicted when my dogs were going to die. That was crazy. That was all documented on stream. I've predicted so many things, and so many things have happened, and I felt things. It comes to a point where you just have no choice but to believe. Like, I would never expect other people to just blindly believe. Because I wouldn't either if I didn't experience the things I experienced. But it's just true, and it's real. And I don't know what else to tell people. And if you don't believe, that's totally a prerogative, totally fine with it. But I can't relate. I experience way too much crazy stuff. Okay. Could you give us some rules or limits on celebrity readings? Yes. So one of the things that people always ask me is like, how could you read celebrities? Isn't that invading their space? No. When people say that like you can't do readings on celebrities, you're invading their space, that's a red flag. Because you should have a connection with your guides, and your guides are able to connect to other people's guides. And also energy, we're all connected in general. Literally, we're all connected. And the one thing that is very, 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 very much like drilled into all of our heads is that the universe and the powers that be, big man upstairs, whatever you want to call it, like to use people as examples. And what better way to use someone as an example than someone who already has a lot of fame or a lot of attention or eyeballs on them? Celebrities are used as tools to teach. So the celebrity has signed up for public adoration or whatever. They've signed this up. They chose this. Remember, celebrity chose their life. They chose to be in the spotlight, and going in the spotlight, they knew what would end up happening, right? They chose this. So in choosing that, they're also being able to be used as a tool to teach everyone else. What better way to teach you a lesson that could help other people? What a better way to teach a lesson that could help other people than through a celebrity? So when I do celebrity readings, there are certain things that I'm going to be blocked from. I've said this a lot. You'll see in a few of my readings that I've done recently that there are some information I'm just like, I can't get anything more. I don't really know what this means, and we're going to figure it out soon. I could be wrong about this. I don't know. The energy is low, soft, and I can't really get much. There are certain things you're blocked from. I am not going to get information that I'm not supposed to know. Period. That is the intention that is set. That is what my guides have told me. You just won't get information you're not supposed to know. That's it. It's all that is. And they're used as an example because you're able to learn from them and apply it to your own self. So it's more of a teaching tool than anything. I think people kind of blow it out of proportion. I also think people kind of like really amp up tarot reading to be much more like ominous than it needs to be. It's not really invading a space. They're public people. You want to know what really is invading a space? you throwing negativity at that celebrity, you tweeting terrible things to them, spreading hate about them, making nasty comments, that's actually invading their space, because you're actually literally sending negativity to them, and we're all connected, so they are going to feel that. So that's one of the things that confuses me, and it's a red flag if anyone tells you anything otherwise. Absolutely under no circumstances are you invading personal space, because you're just not going to get it. Remember, the intention for these videos is set beforehand to be public. They're not going to give me personal, private information that nobody is supposed to know and it can't help anyone in a public video. The information that I've gotten that has been proven to be true so far was all stuff that ended up, one, becoming public, and two, was a tool to help them and to guide them. Remember what I said in that James video. He will be vindicated. Everyone was like, no, he won't. No, he won't. Guess what happened? Right? That's why, because it was teaching you from start to finish how it was going to go. So hopefully that can just explain it a little bit. And if you have a dirty secret you don't want me to know, I'm not going to know it. There are rules. They respect that. I'm not going to find out all your dirty little secrets. That's not how it works. So many people are scared of me because of that. That is not how it works. It's not that ominous, not that intense. Okay. How did I learn tarot? Okay, this is the most common question that I get, other than when are your readings available? I am self-taught. So one of the things that kind of drives people crazy is they're like, oh my God, Ant, teach me. I want to learn. I want to learn. It's trial and error. I am naturally a self-taught type of person. I teach myself kind of everything. I like to kind of go in and dive in. I am an Aries moon, so I kind of just like to get my hands dirty and go right in. Maybe I could potentially set up some sort of class, or maybe, some videos that maybe I'll have available for purchase, or I don't know, something. We can figure out something out to maybe eventually do that, to kind of teach people, maybe class or something. I'll figure it out. I'll obviously always let you know. Sign up for the newsletter, Antphrodite.com, and check out my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Antphrodite, and Twitch, Antphrodite. But I'm sure eventually we'll figure something out like that. But until then, what I can tell you is this: start off slow, start off small, do simple spreads, 3 cards, 2 cards, whatever the case may be. You can do person-person energy between past, present, future, things like that. Just keep them simple, and do something that you can what's the word? You can clarify, or know if you were right or wrong really quickly. So for instance, ask a yes or no question. If you get the answer the next day, you'll know, you kind of test your accuracy. The one thing I will tell you though is what I did and what I hope people will do, because I know one of the other questions was beginner tips. So I'm just going to go into it. What I would do is, and what I did is, if you're for instance, let's say your friend's going to a party. And so you're like, okay, so you're going to the party, okay, you pull 3 cards, you're like, all right, I see you having a good time, whatever the case may be, but I see a Queen of Wands here. So, the Queen of Wands is a really beautiful woman, and you're going to meet a really beautiful woman, and she's going to, really, really have feelings for you, right? You're like, okay, cool. So you tell that person that. They're like, okay, so when you go to the party, come back and tell me what happened. They come back, and they're like, well, I didn't meet a beautiful girl. And you're like, okay, you didn't meet any women at all? No, I didn't meet any women at all. Okay. Well, what happened? And then they're like, well, and they're going into the story, and yeah, and then there was this woman, and she came by, and she was really angry at this guy, and she threw a glass at him. It was crazy. It was wild. Bam, Queen of Wands. So for me, the Queen of Wands can sometimes be an aggressive woman, someone who's aggressive, especially if she's reversed. She can be aggressive and sometimes do things like that. So you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what that Queen of Wands was. Got it. So then you'll sort of learn. That's why it's really important. I'm still learning. There are still readings that I'm learning. If you look at my Jenna Marbles reading, I'm so interested to see how that plays out, because I have no idea what some of the cards I pulled meant, and so I can't wait to figure it out. And I said that in a video. I'm like, I can't really understand what this information is. I'm kind of blocked from a lot of it, but I can't wait to see how this manifests, to see what it really means, because even I am learning about certain combinations, certain spreads, and certain intuition that I'm really not picking up on. So that's what I see. That's what I suggest to you. Ask them what happened at the event or the thing that they did. That way you can kind of put what means what in your cards, and then for the next time you'll know how to do it. That's kind of how it works. Okay. Let me see what the next question is. Collabs. Oh my God. So many people ask me, will you collab with this person? Collab with this person? I would love to collaborate with people. Love to collaborate with people. I would love to collaborate with so many YouTubers. I stand so many people. I love so many people. I don't know if anyone would want to collaborate with me. I mean, first of all, I'm the new bitch on the block, so I don't really know if anyone would want to collaborate with me in general. But I don't know. I mean, I would love to. It's just like, I don't know. Like, how does a collab work? Like, how do you even collab with people? I don't even know. I'm still learning YouTube, by the way. Like, I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube. Like, I'm learning as I go. But I would love to collaborate with people if they would like to collaborate with me. I don't know. Hit me up if you want to collab. I don't know. I'm down. I just don't really know how it works. See, I'm all nervous and like smiley. I don't know. Are people really interested in collaborating with me? That's the thing. I don't know. I'm like the loser in school. So like when people are like, oh my God, I want to be friends with you, I'm like, you're lying. Like I like have trust issues. So I'm like, really? Do you really like me though? Like, or is this like a bait and switch where like you want to be friends with me and then like stand me up at the altar? You know what I mean? Like my biggest fear is like someone be like, yeah, I want to collaborate with you. And like I wait around and they don't show up. And then I'm just like, I feel like the fat friend, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like, oh my God, he's fat, I want to stand next to him. You know, that's just in my head, but that's my own issues. But yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to collab, hit me up. I'm down, especially now that I have my my stuff, you know, going. Any other types of divination practices you use? Want to get back into pendulum work so bad. One of my friends is going to help me, but I'm telling you right now, I'm a little bit nervous because I tried to get into pendulum work when I was 17, girl. And weird stuff started happening in my room. I had poltergeist activity. Stuff was flying off the walls. Everything was going haywire. I was like, oh, I'm not touching this anymore. And then it stopped. So it's funny because I've had a few people tell me, you know, you should try pendulum work. I feel pendulum work with you. I'm like, girl, when I was 17, it was a mess. So I'm sure I'll probably get back into pendulum work at some time soon. Is it draining doing these readings? Oh my God, yes. Nobody understands that, literally. So when I had 400 orders, I'm down to 170. When I had 400, I was passing out over and over and over again. Literally, I was exhausting myself to the point of like passing out. It was not good. That's why they're going a little bit slower now, but I'm healthier. It's incredibly draining to do this stuff. Oh my God, I'm like a zombie after a stream. It's really difficult. That's why I can't really stream too long when I do stream, and I have to keep things short and sweet. It's really hard. I'm getting in and out of in your energy and out of your energy. I have very strong boundaries. I think that's why I went through so many hardships in my life, to learn how to say no to people, to learn how to make really strong boundaries. And one of the things that really sets apart a lot of the things that I do is that like I can't emotionally invest in your reading. When I'm channeling information for you, I can't invest in you emotionally because we'll both get drained and I can't do my work. So sometimes it's going to come across a little bit blunt and a little bit like oomph because of that. I can't get into your energy. I can't feel empathy for you in that scenario because if I get in that energy, I won't get out. I have to get in and out of your energy, get the information, bada bing, bada boom, and leave. That's what it has to be. That's why the stream is really nice, because the chat can be the support system. I can't really like do that. That's why sometimes people are like, oh my God, you're laughing. Or, oh my God, I have to separate. If I don't separate, I'll be destroyed. This is the hardest part of being a psychic or doing tarot reading or anything like that. That's the hardest part. That is literally so difficult to get down. And it's one thing that sometimes frustrates me because I'll be like, oh my God, the way you say this and the way you say that, that's the way the information is channeled. That's why it's like sometimes hard, because like when you guys just watch those videos, you don't really get a sense of me. It's why I think this video is important. Like you guys don't really get a sense of who I am and my personality, because it's like, sure, there's some parts of me that's channeled into that, but it's mostly just like a flat channel of information. Okay, I'm sorry I'm long-winded. My favorite Sailor Scout, Sailor Moon. I know everyone's like, that's a cop-out. But like, first of all, Nail Queen Serenity is literally my favorite. What I love about Sailor Moon in general, okay, is the fact that one, she's a Cancer, and two, she's a nurturer, right? An empath just like me. And she is not strong because she's like physically strong. She's not like the baddest, bitch in the world. She's not like the most confident. She's kind of like a crybaby, and she loves food, and she's a weirdo. And, she just loves people. And she kind of succeeds through the power of love, and she teaches us the strength and vulnerability. And that's something that's been hard for me to learn as someone who's very, 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 very much, had to grow up in a really rough place and had to always defend himself, and was very, very, very much intensely bullied. Like, to have an icon to look up to who didn't care, even through all of the intense, terrible stuff that was happening, she didn't care. She always led with her heart. She always wore her heart on her sleeve. She always led with her heart. And she's just not afraid. You know, when I was younger, I had a teacher tell me, Aunt, you know, you wear your heart on your sleeve. I was like, no, I don't. He's like, yes, you do. And I was like, from this day forward, I will never wear my heart on my sleeve ever again. And so, like, I always looked up to Sailor Moon because she was able to do that and still be a badass. You know what I mean? She was still able to defend stuff. And she never gives up on anyone. She never gives up on anyone. She always loves people. Even if they do terrible things to her, she forgives them and loves them. And she's not afraid to be herself and be vulnerable. And I think that's very special. What I also love, and why Neo Queen Serenity is my favorite, is because she gets pissed off and fed up after years of saving people, and I so relate to this, she goes cold. She's like pretty much sick and tired of saving everyone, and she's gone numb and cold, and she's just detached and just over it. You know, everyone has used her and taken from her, and she's protected so many people that she's just alone, and she's feeling isolated, and she just feels like, meh. I can so relate. You know, you get tired of that energy, and I think that's really a beautiful story arc. And I really love the fact that Neo Queen Serenity is just so cold. Like, she's just like, she's become jaded. You know, years of protecting and saving people has really taken its toll on her. And it's one of those things that I hope people remember. Like, you know, the people that love and protect you, make sure you do the same in return for them. Okay, do you experience vivid dreams? Yes, I talked about that. I constantly get messaged in my dreams. I predicted when my dogs were going to die. I've seen a lot of stuff. A lot of my psychic hits come in my dreams. Right before you fall asleep is your most vulnerable. It's where I get my information. I meditate to sleep every single night, and when I meditate, I go into my special place, and I get a lot of information channeled then. Probably going to talk about that later in this video. I already went over beginner tips. What's my sign and chart? Well, I'll actually show you guys my chart here. It's not a wheel because I didn't feel like putting that on the screen right now because I am really, really busy. But this is in my antphrodite.com/whatarbirthcharts. I actually have a little Easter egg. If you scroll down to the right, my chart shows up, and there it is. I am a Sag ascendant. My sun is in Gemini, June 7th. Hey! Coming up. My moon is in Aries. My Mercury is in Gemini. My Venus and Mars and Jupiter are all in Leo. So for those of you that were wondering, and my North Node is in Capricorn. Now, Ascendant in Sag. Don't forget that my sun is, I believe, does it say here? Oh, I don't have the second part. Anyways, 7th house. Moon is in my 4th house. Mercury is in my 6th house. Venus, Mars, and Jupiter are all in my 8th house. And then we have Saturn in my 2nd, Uranus and Neptune are both in my 1st. Neptune in the 1st and Jupiter in the 8th are both psychic placements, psychic indicators. And yeah, North Node is in the 1st as well. So Midheaven in Libra is a big one, by the way, you guys. A lot of you are wondering why you see me a certain way. Midheaven in Libra, most of you are probably going to be seeing my Midheaven. When you see my stuff or you know, interact with me, especially online, you're going to see a lot of the Libra Midheaven. And yeah, so that's my chart. I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh my God, T. Yeah, there it is. It's on the screen for you. I'm sure you can pause it and look at it. All right, let's move on. Okay, what inspired you to do YouTube channel? Well, I've been doing this on Twitch for 2 years, and, you know, not exactly the easiest place, not exactly the easiest place to get noticed for my type of content. I pioneered it on there, and I just wanted fresh eyeballs on my stuff. I wanted just to dive into a new audience that, you know, might be a little bit more inclined to my type of content. And it was just a natural transition. It was always something I wanted to do, but I didn't have the right way of going about it, and it wasn't the right timing, and everything happens for a reason. And so, yeah, I had a plan of attack and in terms of like putting my content up, and didn't really go the way I thought it would have gone. It kind of had an entity of its own, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. Good thing I did upload that video, though. All of them. One thing I do want to say is a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, this guy's a video this. Those are all, like, I uploaded all of my old Twitch videos. Those have all documented on my Twitch account for like years now. For like the 2 years that I've been streaming, like I have all of those videos on there. So then I just threw them up on YouTube when I started to do YouTube. Also, I threw them up backwards. It was Mercury retrograde, so I ended up screwing up by putting the newest ones first, so they're older they're like at the bottom of the upload list in my YouTube channel, but whatever. If you click on the button, the more info button, you'll see like I put the date that it was filmed. You can just double check on my Twitch account anyways. But yeah, that's why some of them are like, why is this old? That's why like the production quality of some of them are really low. I'm like, girl, those were like one of my first readings. That's why. Okay. When was your last relationship? Oof. Never. I've never been in an official relationship. Nobody has ever gotten that title. So young Ant was your typical Gemini. I didn't want to settle down. I didn't want to be in a relationship. I just wanted to kind of be rebellious. I was very rebellious, Aries moon. Super, super rebellious. Did whatever I wanted to do. Didn't give a bleep. Very reckless. I guess I shouldn't say super reckless. I mean, I was always a responsible kid, but I just would do stuff because I wanted to and didn't really care about what people thought or, you know, what people wanted me to do. Just like simple rebellious stuff. But yeah, and I never thought that gay marriage would be legal. So I was like, I'm never gonna have to worry about getting married anyways. And then it happened, and I was like, what? Maybe I do. And then I was still like, no, man, I'll never find someone who really loves me. And even if I did, I don't really think it's for me. Like, I just want to be, you know, myself and, you know, just single and doing whatever I want to do. And, you know, I've always been someone who's like, I don't want to get in a relationship if I'm not like successful. I've always been someone who's like, I need to be successful if I'm going to be in a relationship because I'm not going to rely on a man. Like, something that's been in my head since I was little is like, my career won't wake up one day and leave me. So I want to be self-sufficient, and I literally, like, my biggest fear is literally, I think that's one of the questions on here, my biggest fear is codependence. Under no circumstances will I allow myself to ever become codependent. I have abandonment issues. My abandonment issues have manifested into hyper independence. And you know, a lot of people with abandonment issues will go into like clinginess or, you know, really like, you know, dependence, but me, no, hyper independence is how it's manifested, and I absolutely will never allow a man to tell me what I can and can't do. I am very, 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 very adamant about that, and so it's been difficult. It's been a process. After my dad died, I realized, I was like, I really should, like, my heart chakra opened. It was obviously closed, obviously it was damaged, and I healed my heart chakra. I'm still healing it. In fact, this year has been really healing. I think I'm finally ready for a real relationship, trying to manifest that. But yeah, it's just been a little bit difficult of a process. It's been a long process. After my dad passed away, I was like, okay, I think I need to get my stuff together. I think I should be in a relationship. I do want to be married. You know, so yeah, I do want to be married. I just see myself in a serious relationship. I think there's a few questions later on about the type of person I'm into. I'll wait to get to that. But yeah, I am serious about that. I think I'm ready now. But you know, it is what it is. We'll get into that later. But yeah, my last relationship hasn't existed. Can you believe that? What's the craziest thing you ever predicted that's come true? The James Charles video. Like, let's be real. I don't think anything will ever top how much of an impact that video had. Period. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's another like crazy thing that I predicted that is anywhere close to that. I mean, I've predicted a lot of stuff for a lot of people. So a lot of my clients, a lot of people who have gotten readings from me will probably have millions of stories. But I'm trying to think if there's like one in particular that stands out. I think mostly, you know, I've predicted pregnancies before. I've predicted proposals. Actually spoiled... I've actually spoiled proposals before. And you know who you are? I spoiled a proposal before. Yes. But the reason I spoiled it is because the proposal was not going to be the type of proposal that they would have liked. So that's why I was able to see it. I spoiled a proposal, and first of all, that's the second time I spoiled a proposal, and both times were for the same reason. Both times that I spoiled a proposal, they maybe like thought about it, but it wasn't really something that they saw coming. Both times I spoiled a proposal, it was because it would have been awful. The way the woman would have been proposed to would have been awful. They wouldn't have liked it. So, dodged a bullet. Okay. What does your family think of you being psychic? Well, my brother doesn't really believe in it. He kind of sort of believes in it, but kind of not really. I mean, I have so many stories about his house being haunted and him blaming me for it. Maybe that's a story time for another day, how he says that I brought a ghost to his house. He kind of does believe, but he kind of doesn't. He's like kind of all over the place with it. My mom believes in the stuff tremendously. In fact, my family is very spiritual. There is a person in my family who is a medium. There is a psychic gene in my family. It skips generation. Not everyone has it, but there is a little bit of a psychic gene. I know some of you roll your eyes at that. I don't really care. It's been in our family for generations. It's been called, people have called a lot of my ancestors and the people in my family witches. They've said that they have the gift. I mean, there's been a lot of it's been talked about a lot. It's pretty common, I think, in Italian families. I am 100% Italian, so I think I'm a stereotype girl. 100% Italian New Yorker, okay? Child of the ghetto. But I think a lot of people have similar experiences. There is something to it. There is some sort of gene or some sort of thing that is passed down in families. 100%. Not everyone gets it. Some people just get a touch of it. Some people get all of it. But yeah. A lot of people ask me, are you a medium? I am not able to talk to the dead, but I've had many mediums come to me and say things. So, I think there's a block. I think eventually it'll happen. But I think that there's a block that I need to work through. I wouldn't be surprised if it's my heart chakra. I don't know. We'll see. I will say my blue chakra, my throat chakra was clogged. And as soon as I started streaming, a week after, I had a throat infection. A sinus infection in my throat because I was unclogging it. So who knows? Also, my mom doesn't. My mom believes, but my mom doesn't like tarot cards. She'll go to mediums and she likes all that stuff. In fact, this is a blessed obsidian from Machu Picchu that my mom got me and brought me back. She brought me back. My mom went to Japan. There's actually a Japan haul on my Twitch account if you haven't seen it. These are I think it's like a rosary or a prayer bead or something from Japan. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, that's actually this. It's not really this or whatever. It's like some basic thing. I'm sure somebody will roast it, but it's beautiful regardless. She brought back a whole bunch of things from the shrines that she went to in Japan. So my mom really loves the fact that I'm into spiritual stuff because she kind of gets excited to do things like that. My mom's a Leo, so she loves gifts. That's her love language. But she's scared of tarot cards because, quote unquote, she's seen too many movies and they freak her out. I don't know how she's okay with every other thing in psychic land. She loves mediums and everything like that, but she's scared of tarot cards. I don't know why. I try to tell her a million times, tarot card is literally the most basic form of divination, but whatever. For the most part, they kind of don't really ask too many questions. They are very spiritual. They've had a lot of experiences. We've always been a family of ghosts and stuff. My family, has had many experiences. I can give you so many story times about the ghost experiences that they've had and that I've seen and stuff like that. Talked about that a lot on my stream before, but she's accepting and open to this stuff. It doesn't, surprise any of them, and they're really proud of me. And it's interesting to see their reaction to everything. So my mom doesn't know anyone. There are two people that my mom knows. There are only two people that my mother knows, okay? And she stands both of them. I just spit. She stands both of them. The first one is Wendy Williams. My mom loves Wendy Williams. Literally, my mom will purchase anything Wendy Williams says to purchase. My mom stands Wendy Williams. She loves Wendy. She doesn't even really watch the show. She just loves Wendy. I don't know what it is. I love Wendy too, so I kind of get it. But my mom loves Wendy. And the second person my mom loves and stands is Jeffree Star. My mom loves Jeffree Star. She's literally obsessed. She's always asking me, what's his new product? What's his new this? She loves Jeffree Star. When I tell you, my mom has good taste, okay? My mom loves Jeffree Star. I'm telling you, my mom doesn't know anyone. She knows nobody, but she knows Wendy and she knows Jeffree. She's like, how's my Wendy? How's my Jeffree? I'm like, what are you? She's very like that. She calls everyone my this, my that. She's a character. But yeah, so my mom stands those two people tremendously, and I'm like, you got good taste, okay? So my mom has good taste. Okay, so What is my favorite tarot card? Well, I mean, I definitely like the High Priestess because I feel like, I'm the High Priestess, right? I mean, I'm kind of, the intuitive person around here, but I show up as a Queen of Wands. So I have to say Queen of Wands for this one, even though I wish I could be like the High Priestess. I show up as the Queen of Wands. I get sassed by my cards. When I first started, I got sassed. Yes, I'm a Queen of Wands. Yes, I'm high maintenance. Yes, I'm a little bit of a bitch. Yes, I'm a little bit aggressive, especially when it comes to love. Yes, I'm very dominant. And yes, I'm prissy. I get it. My Venus is in Leo, okay? So I get it. I'm the Queen of Wands, loud and clear, high maintenance. I got it, okay? Do I play any games? So I actually did play a lot of Dota 2. I played like years of Dota 2. I think my rank was, oh my god, I don't remember. Was it almost 4K? Something like that. And then I also played a lot of Overwatch. I was Masters in Overwatch. I like playing Diva the most. I like playing Symmetra. I don't really like playing support. I like Assassin, so I like to get in and out in terms of video games. But yeah, I don't really play too much anymore because it was just, there's a lot of harassment that I wasn't really enjoying. And I also don't really have time, with doing tarot and psychic stuff full time. It's like I don't really have time to play video games. Am I religious? I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power. I don't believe in hell. So I believe in a higher power, and I do believe that when we die, we go up for a life review. Think of it like the pool or whatever it's called that you put your head in Harry Potter. You get to see your life, what you experienced, and then through other people's eyes, what they experienced and how you affected other people, if that makes sense. So like your life and how you experienced it, and then your life and how other people experienced you through what you did for them, to them, things like that, like how you affected them, stuff like that. And then I believe there's like levels of it, almost like a camp, like there's levels to it. And so there are people who are being rehabilitated. I don't believe that there's a hell. I think demons and negative entities are more like anarchy, where they're kind of like working alone. I don't think there's like organization. I think the light is organized. I don't think the dark is as organized. Maybe there might be subgroups or people working together in terms of whatever, but I think it's a little bit more disorganized than we realize. I could really go into this because there's a lower self and a higher self, and I could really go into this. It might be another video of my experiences with this and what I've seen with my guides and stuff I've been told. But yeah. I grew up my family, I come from a family of that was super into the church. So, I mean, I've had my communion, my confirmation, all that stuff. My family of altar boys. I was my religion teacher's favorite student because I always asked why. Like, I was very inquisitive, like whole 9 yards when it comes to reading the Bible and stuff like that. Like I did all of that. It was super, super interesting. I always found it intriguing. I've always been into stuff like this. It's just been my life path, really, truthfully. Sometimes you're just into things. How did you get into K-pop? Who was your first group to stan? I think you have to remember, I've been listening to K-pop for like 10 years now, old school. I think my first inclination was probably SNSD, I think. They were definitely my first standing. Sunny was my number one bias, but I pretty much loved all the girls. I'm trying to think. I love old school, like after school, Nana, Queen of Pop. Like Hyuna is my ultimate bias. Always has been, always will be. 4 Minute was great, but mostly Hyuna. After school, Nana, I said that already. Rania, old school Rania. Oh my god, rest in peace. I miss Nine Muses already. All the girl groups that I like end up going to the wayside. I like Sexy Concept. I wait for the Aegyo girls to like go Sexy Concept for me to be interested in them. But yeah, I don't know. I could talk about K-pop forever. I play old school K-pop songs all the time on my Twitch. Like, I have really impeccable taste with K-pop. People who don't like K-pop, when they hear one of the songs that I send them, they're like, what the hell? I didn't realize it was this good. I'm like, yes, I know the dance bops, okay? What are my favorite crystals? Well, I'm still like learning crystals because the way I got into crystals is my guides would tell me what to get. I know black tourmaline is the number one thing. It protects against negativity, protects against demons attacking, protects against negative spirits, it protects against hexes from witches. Witches can't touch it. It protects against any sort of negative thing. It's a very grounding stone. Obsidian, same thing, protects and grounds. Amethyst does enhance psychic ability. And rose quartz is for self-love and the heart chakra. Now, I did go to a crystal store, okay? Now that I'm here in Austin, I did go to a crystal store, which is really beautiful and amazing. And I did purchase, some of you may have seen this on my Instagram story or my Twitter, Twitter and Twitch, Antphrodite. This is a selenite wand, so this cleanses, and it's really great for cleansing all of your space, but it's also really great for cleansing your other crystals. And then I also purchased this one. This was one of the new ones that they had. I believe it's petalite or pedalite, something like that. It's pink, the pink version. This is, I think it said that it's supposed to connect you more with your guides and potentially see auras and potentially connect with angels. I mean, you guys can feel free to let me know in the comments. I was completely enamored by this, completely drawn into this, and I am obsessed with this. I don't know, I was just so drawn to it. And I was also drawn to this, which is pink tourmaline. I believe this is for cleaning out old wounds when it comes to the heart chakra and when it comes to love, which clearly I need. So I was drawn to this. Again, you guys can always leave in the comments. I'm still learning about certain things with crystals. Like I said before, that's really not focusing the best, but I think most of you kind of can see anyways. There it goes. I think most of you can see. I have gone mining before for crystals, which was really, really, really fun. I highly recommend that. It was actually really fun. By the way, all three of those I got for $24 total. So I know how to shop on a budget. Okay. All right. How do I feel about all the success? Very overwhelming. I kind of went into that a little bit. It's interesting because my mediumship video, a lot of you guys have told me when I had the experience with my dad, a lot of what he said came true, which is kind of making me feel a little bit nervous. But overall, I'm okay. I'm kind of been prepared for it. I've kind of just been waiting. So the answer to that question is it feels right. It feels like about time. You know, I've been here all along and, you know I shouldn't have kept you waiting, but I'm here now. Burn. Anyways, yeah, it just feels like it's the right time. And it feels like it's only phase one. I think this was just like the warning shot. I think there's a lot more to come. So I'm really excited and hopeful. You know, I'm hoping to do a lot of stuff. So hopefully you guys still stick by me and love me and watch my stuff and share me with people. Because, you know, even though this was really big, it was just like a small thing in the grand scheme of things. So hopefully, you know, you guys still love me and support me. Here it is. Here's the question. What's your type and ideal man? We know you have high standards. It's true. First of all, my celebrity crush is Zayn. Zayn Malik. That man is gorgeous. I love pretty boys. I have a really big thing for pretty boys. Always have, always will. That's just my type. However, I do kind of like a little bit of everyone. Here's what I will tell you. Recently, I've been really into tall guys. It was never really much of a concern for me until I saw this really tall guy and I was just like, oh my God. And, you know, people have been pressuring me like, you need to be with someone tall. You need to be with someone tall. And so I've kind of been like, okay. But, you know, I mean, you guys know I'm a size queen. That's not a shocker. I am high maintenance. I think I'm worth it though. Venus and Leo. I mean, I'm really, really loyal to a fault. I'm Italian. You make your bed and lay in it is what we say. So once I make my decision, I ain't budging. I'm a ride or die. I'm very affectionate. Words of affirmation and physical touch are like my two top love languages. And gift giving is a close third. So it's very, very important for me to constantly have people say they love me and that I'm beautiful. Words of affirmation are very important, and I will give that in the same return. Venus is in Leo, and so is Mars in Leo for me, both in the 8th house. So I very, very much want someone who like wants a lot of PDA and wants to give and receive a lot of PDA, give and receive a lot of compliments. I want someone who really loves me for me and is not afraid to shout it from the rooftops. I want a very romantic thing. By the way, I've planned out my wedding already. And if you're going to propose to me, make sure it better be over the top. I want an over top proposal, and I've already planned out our wedding. Now, our wedding is not going to be super over the top, but it is themed, and I'm not telling y'all because I've said it before millions of times, and people keep stealing it, so I'm not saying it on this video. Maybe later on. Maybe later on y'all unlock that, okay? But yeah, I don't know. I like guys who are kind of serious. You know, I don't know. I think I'm drawn to a lot of different guys. Like, I don't mind guys who are funny, but I feel like I'm a lot of personality, and I feel like to balance out all of my personality, it's nice to have someone who's serious. I think that's why I'm drawn towards Capricorns a lot, which doesn't really work out that great because I like getting them out of their shell, and I feel like I'm really good at that. You know, as an entertainer in general, I feel like I'm a very entertaining person regardless of what I do. I feel like it's really nice to have someone who's more like, you know, who's different. I don't want to date someone like me. That's the worst thing. I don't want them to look like me. I don't want them to sound like me. I don't want them to be like me at all. I want them to be completely different and bring something unique to the table. It's very important. I want someone who's self-sufficient, who's very, 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 very much mature. You know, I want someone who's what I see for myself is like me. It's like me, my career, my relationship. And I want them the same. Them, their career, their relationship. I want like Beyonce to my Jay-Z, you know, or the Jay-Z to my Beyonce, whatever. Like I want someone who is very hungry for, you know, success and who wants to be the best and who honestly is already the best. I want someone who's already established. You have to remember this. I help people for a living. The last thing I want to do when I'm done from working is help another person. I want someone who doesn't need my help, and I want someone who doesn't need me. I want someone who wants me. What I'm most drawn towards, I'm drawn towards power. People who have power are very sexy to me, very alluring, because I love restraint. And in order to have restraint, you have to have power. I love when someone could do something, but they don't. That's very sexy to me. Having self-control and having restraint is so alluring to me. I love that. I also love people who are very, 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 very put together. It's very attractive to me when they're just like cool. They're calm, collected. Like it's very sexy to me. But I'm kind of open to anyone. I mean, seriously, I really am. If I vibe with you, I vibe with you. But let me tell you something. Dating a light worker is very difficult, and I know that's one of the questions here, and we'll get to that in a little bit. It is very difficult to date me, and you will be put through a lot of hoops. Okay, so one of the questions here is, can you read yourself? I've talked about this a lot. Sometimes you can't be impartial. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you are blocked. I have done it before. I actually did a reading on myself May 6th, and I kind of predicted a lot of stuff that happened. You know, I did predict a lot of stuff before it happened. So I do readings on myself. I do see certain things. You'll probably catch it on Twitch if you ever see it. Maybe I'll upload some things to YouTube. Very rarely. I usually use my own intuition. That's something that I do a lot. I usually kind of just use my intuition. You have to remember the cards are a guide. I don't really need the cards for a lot of things. I just use my intuition. And for myself, it's a little bit easier. Would I ever do drag? So I'm not opposed. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've only just now touched makeup. If you can see, I'm wearing the Jeffree Star concealer. Okay. This is the first makeup product that I've ever purchased and the first makeup product that's ever gone on my face. Now I know I didn't apply it right. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm the first one to admit that. But, this is the first thing that I've ever touched when it comes to makeup. I am not opposed. It's just I'm not really good at art. Like, let me tell you something. When I love drawing. Drawing is one of the things that I love to do. I love being creative. I love anything artsy-fartsy, like Brittany says. I love anything like painting, like drawing, anything like that. I love that stuff. And in my head, when I'm drawing, I'm like, oh my God, I'm the best. Oh my God, I'm amazing. Picasso is shaking. I'm like literally like, oh my God, I'm making a Monet. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, the Mona Lisa. Like, I'm literally like in my head, I'm like the freaking best drawer ever. I'm like, oh, you bitch is gonna be mad. This is gonna be sickening. I'm the best drawer. Like, oh my God, you have no idea. Like, you know, Lady Gaga is shaking. She wishes she could draw this. You know what I mean? Like in my head, like I'm literally a star. Like I'm the best drawer ever. It's the whole thing is like Picasso is shaking. Like it's very like, oh my God, I'm amazing. Oh my God, this line. And I've done it before where like I literally say it out loud. I'm like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm the best drawer ever. You wish you were as good as I am. And then I turn around that piece of paper and it looks like crap. Like it literally looks like a stick figure and there's like a dog that looks like a horse. Like it's awful. Like I'm literally awful. But in my head, I'm like the best artist ever. And hashtag manifestation. But no, I'm like the worst drawer ever. And so like I'm really not good at stuff like that, even though in my head I'm like I'm the best ever. But like realistically, I know I'm like awful. So like when it comes to makeup, like I don't really know how to draw things or what I'm doing. You know, I can predict your future, but I don't know how to do this. So I was like, y'all gonna come in the comments like, what was he doing with his hands? I'm like learning what I'm doing and it's all wrong, but whatever. Anyways, and so I'm not opposed to doing stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not really the type of person that wants to wear makeup all the time. I'm really kind of like, I'm a sad descendant. Like, I'm kind of just like, I don't really do too much to my hair. I don't really touch my eyebrows at all. You know, I put on chapstick and I go. Like, I moisturize my skin and I wash my face, and, you know, put lotion on every day, and that's kind of it. Like, I'm really low maintenance in terms of stuff like that. It's just not something that I'm really interested in, like, doing every single day. However, I would love for someone to do my makeup, because every single drag queen ever pulls me to the side, and you can't really see it in video, but if you see me in person, I have extremely high cheekbones and a very chiseled jawline, and my cheekbones literally could cut glass. They're like, you can kind of see it when I bend down like here. It's hard to see it on the camera, but in real life, when you see certain angles, you can see it. Even I have a prominent brow bone too. Like, you can see it. Like, it's very like, so like every single drag queen pulls me to the side and it's like, you would look really fish. You would look really fish if you did drag. Like, so I would love for somebody to put me in makeup, period, and then drag makeup. I would love it. If anybody wants to collab and do that, hey, I'm totally down for that. I have no idea how I would look, and I'd be totally into it. So yeah. I just don't know what I'm doing with makeup, and I'm not going to ever like put on makeup every single day, but I think it'd be fun to do it. I'm totally down. I've never worn anything, girl. Here it is. How has being psychic affected your social and dating life? Girl, every single guy that I've ever talked to has said the two things. One, Aunt, you're so enigmatic. I can never get anything past you, ever. You're enigmatic. That is the number one thing that I hear, and the second thing that I hear the most is, I'm sick and tired of not being able to have a secret. It's difficult. You don't realize how many secrets you have until you're around someone that can sniff them out. You really don't. Like, there are certain things that aren't really that big of a deal when it comes to being secretive about it. Like, you know, you just don't want to tell someone this, you don't want to tell someone that, but I'm going to sniff it out. And so it's a little bit hard for that. It's like, you can't get anything past me at all. Like, you're never going to get anything past me. It's literally a waste of time to try. Like, you will never get something past me. It's just not happening. I might not even tell you, but I'm sniffing it out, which is the problem. I might not say anything, but I've already sniffed it out. And I've sniffed something out about it. And so it's really hard. It's really difficult because, like I said before, I don't think people realize how many things they hold on to that they don't want other people to know that I'm going to eventually find out, especially if you're dating me and we're exchanging energy. It's difficult, especially because, like, you know, people, when they're around me, they act different. When I go on a first date with someone, a lot of times, I'm not going to say a lot of times, every single time, you're going to spill information about your ex, you're going to spill information about your wounds. I can't tell you the amount of times people come to you and they're like, this is part of being intuitive and a psychic. They go, you make me feel really comfortable. I don't know why I just said that. I just spilled everything. Every time you will project onto me, especially with Neptune in the first house, you project your issues onto me. Happens my whole life. I mean, from good things to bad things, it's always projected onto me. So it's really difficult because I pull out your wounds. I'm going to end up pulling out your wounds, even if I don't say anything. You're going to feel vulnerable around me. I'm naturally intimidating at first, but then once you're in, you're going to pour your soul out to me. And it's hard. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like, imagine being around someone that you can't hide from, you know, and I don't even have to say anything. You just feel my energy. It's intense. And so it's hard. It's really difficult. I think that's probably the number one reason why I've been single my whole life, is that it's just really hard to date someone like me. I'm really intense in general, and, you know, you're gonna spill everything to me. You know, when you're dating me, you're gonna feel vulnerable, and you have to be okay to feel vulnerable, and it's rare this day and age. I don't know. It's really hard because, like, I can describe it to you as like I can literally see the information lifted from your forehead and put into mine. Like, I can actually see information lifted and then flying into my head. It's hard to describe. It's how I envision it. Like, I just pick up on stuff. And, you know, it takes a very strong man to be able to handle that, you know? It's hard. It's difficult. On top of the fact that, like, I mean, at this point, like, I mean, so many guys are annoyed. Like, it's hard to get in touch with me all the time because I always have people that need help. I'm always helping someone, or there's a client here that needs me, or there's a client there that needs me, or, you know, I'm also a public figure, which adds on another level of stress for people. They don't want to be in the public eye, and I'm in there, so they have no choice if they want to be with me. And then, you know, you have to add on the fact that I am very intimidating in general. My personality is hard to handle. You know, I am worth it, but, you know, some guys just aren't interested. And, you know, it's also frustrating because I constantly hear people saying, like, you know, you're too good for me. So many guys have said that. And, you know, there are guys that say that and they're just trying to, you know, get away from you. But no, they're serious. Like, you're too good for me. Like, I don't have my stuff together and you make me feel inferior because of that. And there's not anything I can do about that. So it's just been hard. I mean, what I will say is, you know, if you are single and you are interested in me, hit me up. DM me or something. I don't know. Slide in the DMs. I don't know. Whatever. I am interested in finding my soulmate and I'm willing to find them wherever. I will tell you this, though. I am very upfront. And if you act the fool, I'm going to say something. And if you come incorrect, I'm going to say something. I am notorious for getting into fights on Tinder. Because guys say stupid stuff to me and I react. I've realized that I care too much about people. So, you know, I just get very annoyed at the fact they don't realize that what they're doing and, you know, it just becomes a mess. So I'm trying to get better at that, but yeah. Anyways. Have I ever been wrong? Every psychic will be wrong at some point because you have to remember two things. First and foremost, we're not, you know, all-knowing beings. This is information that's being funneled through, you know, it's being funneled or channeled through things. So, like, you're not always going to get the symbol right. Maybe it's a little bit off. Some things have multiple meanings. Maybe you got the meaning, maybe you got the right information, you just read it wrong. Also, the information is given to you so you can adjust for the future. You're literally given this information so you can pivot or adjust whereas you need to pivot or adjust where you need to. That sentence is wrong. Whatever. It's given to you so that you can adjust and avoid if you need to. So sometimes I give you information about what's coming, you do something to change it, you no longer have to worry about it. But yeah, no, you're not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be right. No one's going to always be 100% right. Information can be read wrong. Information can be delivered incorrectly. People can interpret it wrong. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. So no, I wouldn't say you know, anyone's 100% accurate. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's impossible to be 100% accurate. And if a psychic tells you that they're 100% accurate, you need to take that as a red flag. My biggest fear is codependence. I went over that. Also, my biggest fear is to leave this earth without leaving a mark or an impact. Very, very important for me to be able to say I came, I saw, conquered, and I impacted as many people as I could. I have big dreams for the future, and I will achieve those. Is it true that tarot cards have to be gifted? No, there's this whole old wives' tale that's been, it's like some pagan thing, and like they had to hide things because they weren't allowed to do it. It's this whole big thing. I'm sure you could Google it where this started, but this is a myth. No, you can buy your own tarot cards whenever you want. No, this is the number one thing that drives me crazy, and I consistently have to combat it. It's not true. There's a lot of people that like to gatekeep tarot reading. Like, there's a lot of people that they try to test me too, and I'm like, get out of here. A lot of people try to gatekeep tarot. A lot of people try to gatekeep psychic stuff. It's bull. No, you can literally purchase whatever you want. If you're into it, if you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it for a reason. This is literally ridiculous. You can go and order cards if you want to offline. This is ridiculous. This is not true. The information is coming through you. It's literally channeled through you. The cards are the tool. Like, when so many people are like, you make sure you treat your cards perfectly and all this stuff. Yeah, treat your cards well, but it's a tool. The cards aren't alive. The cards are infused with energy. Your energy. They're not alive, so to speak. Does that make sense? Like, your card isn't like a magic card. You're the vessel. These are the tool. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to most of you. Ooh. Do you read cards on guys before you meet them? No. I don't like to. I like to just use my intuition. And and when it comes to relationships, I'm really not someone, I don't really pull for myself that often, you guys. I really don't. I really don't pull for myself that often. I don't feel the need to, and I don't want to. I think it's unhealthy to consistently pull. When people keep asking me, I need more information, I'll be the first one to tell you, no. I can't give you any more information. You got to make a decision on your own. This isn't a crutch that you can rely on every single day. If you come to me every single day for readings, you're doing it wrong. It shouldn't be that often. But I will pull sometimes if I need a little bit of help. I have a lot of stories about that, probably for another day. Okay, people constantly ask me about my tarot spread that I use. Listen to me. I use a lot of different spreads for a lot of different things. However, I've been doing this so long and my muscle is so strong because I do it day in, day out, every day for forever. I mean, since I was 12, I've been playing with this stuff. But consistently for over 2 years, every single day, I've done so many readings over and over again. I can tell you that the spread that I use is not really a spread. I work in threes most of the time, but sometimes I get my information in 1 card or 2 cards. So I start off with maybe like an overarching and then threes, but then sometimes I get information in 2s, sometimes in 1s. It's just, I know when I set my intentions for my card to tell me a complete story, and I know when the information is done. That's it. And I know what direction that information is coming from. It's hard to describe to you. I've just been doing it so long that it's a little bit easier for me. There's nothing wrong with using a spread. Sometimes you'll see me use them. I'll even have special streams that I do it where I do spreads, but it's more like a guide rather than an absolute. Remember that. What's a song that inspires you? Immediately, there are 2 songs that come to mind. First and foremost, Miss You More by Katy Perry. That song is really difficult for me to listen to without crying. I manifest on that song all the time. In fact, that is what I've been using in my manifestation journal. I have a manifestation journal. Maybe I should do a whole video about it. You guys are going to be shocked at a lot of the stuff that's in that manifestation journal. I listened to Miss You More by Katy Perry when I did that. And when I consistently do it, I read it out loud every single day. And let's just say a lot of those manifestations have actually already come true. Yeah. Some of you guys have seen it. I've shown it on Twitch a million times. You guys saw it when I made it on Twitch before I blew up. And in my blowing up, I actually did hit a lot of those manifestations because I'll give you a little bit of sneak peek in the manifestation journal. It's packed away right now, but I'll tell you, one of the manifestations in that journal was being able to give a reading to James Charles in person. I named a lot of people that I wanted to do a reading for in person for. And one of those was James Charles. And then a couple weeks later, that video popped off. So it's interesting to see how manifestation works. I'll be doing a whole video on it. Like I said, stream has seen that manifestation journal for months now. That's why my stream went nuts when it happened. Because like, that's in your manifestation journal. I'm like, I know. Isn't that crazy? If you could have dinner with any celebrity, alive or dead, who would it be and why? Princess Diana. Princess Diana. I have always felt drawn to her. She also is a Libra midheaven, and she also has Mars in the 8th house. I've always been drawn to Princess Diana. I would love to pick her brain. I feel very much like a soul sister to her. I feel so drawn to her. I don't know why. I feel so drawn to Princess Diana. I want to pick her brain. I mean, she's like a pure soul. I want to just get to know her, you know, and learn more about her. I want to know what makes her tick. You know, what advice would she have for me? You know, how does she help so many people? Like, there's so much I want to know about Princess Diana. Like, I don't know, man. I've always been kind of obsessed with her. You know, the mystery of her death is also very, very, very intriguing. But, like, just her as a person, she seemed, like, perfect. Like, she seems like the ultimate vulnerable soul. She seems like Sailor Moon. You know what I mean? Like, she seems like a selfless giver who's just like too perfect to be real. Like, I would love to pick her brain about everything in life. I don't know if too many people would expect that answer from me, because I think a lot of you would be like, oh, you probably want to be with this person, that person. But yeah, and a lot of people don't know about that about me. I'm kind of like obsessed with Princess Diana. So there you go. You got a secret from me. You guys got one of my secrets. Who's your favorite singer? Britney Spears. Britney Jean Spears, the queen of pop, period. No, I've been obsessed with Britney since I can remember. Okay, we didn't have no gay people out. Nobody was out. Ellen wasn't out. Rosie O'Donnell wasn't out. Neil Patrick Harris wasn't out when I was a kid. No, baby. All we had was Britney Jean Spears, and I wanted to be her. I wanted a belly button ring like her. I wanted to wear low-rise jeans like her. I wanted to wear belly shirts like her. I wanted to be a gymnast like her. It wasn't allowed because apparently gymnastics were for girls. We've come a long way since then, right, parents? And yeah. Britney Jean Spears, the queen of pop. If anyone says anything about her, I will literally flip. I don't want to talk about it. I will get emotional. I'm a Britney stan. I also am a Katy cat, but I'm a Britney stan first and foremost, and we're not even going to talk about it because I'll get too emotional. What's your favorite and least favorite sign? I think Capricorn is my favorite sign because I'm so drawn to them. They're so serious and they're so different. And I feel like Capricorns get no love, and I don't know why. I think they're really funny, even if they're a little bit, you know, simple. And my least favorite sign, I mean, as a Gemini, I struggle to get along with Pisces the most. They're kind of, I like Pisces. I mean, there's a lot of Pisces I love, right? Kesha's a great Pisces. Rihanna's a great Pisces. I like a lot of Pisces, but I just feel like when it comes to like dating especially, I don't know, I just feel like Pisces are delusional. Like, I feel like they're not like, I feel like they don't, here's the problem I have with Pisces, I'm just gonna be honest. They don't make a move. They're wishy-washy and they wait for life to happen to them rather than seize the bull by the horns. I'm an Aries moon and I have so much fire in my chart. I'm just like, no, like, you're too passive. You let life happen to you. Don't take action. You're so inactive and you just wait for stuff, and that just triggers me. I don't know. It just bothers me. It bothers me. I mean, I struggle with Cancer sometimes too because they cry about everything. I'm like, can you just stop crying for 5 minutes? I really can't with this. I can't. It's always a problem. I just can't. And the worst thing about Cancers is you guys bite the hand that feeds. You guys literally bite the hand that feeds, and that triggers me. I'm like, why do you do that? Oh, by the way, this is one of my alternating phone cases, and then I have this. Because a lot of people ask me about this. A few people have seen it. Yeah. We stand. It used to be pink and white, but I eat so much Taco Bell that it's now, you know, stained. So there you go. It's like Taco Bell all over it. Who's my favorite YouTuber? Trisha Paytas. Oh my God, I love Trisha. I literally only watched YouTube because of Trisha Paytas. Been watching since she uploaded videos that were like 30 seconds long. I stan Trisha. I love Trisha. Mind you, I don't care if I stan someone. If I do a video about them or on them, I am still impartial. I am definitely still impartial. There's no, some people have been like, you won't do this because of this. No, baby, no. I don't care if I stan you. I'm still going to be honest in my readings. I don't compromise anything. That's not a thing. The only rule that I have is if I help someone in private, and if I do things with, if someone is one of my clients and I do things for them in private, I don't make videos about them. That's been a rule since forever. It's been a rule since I did this on Twitch. If I work with a Twitch streamer in private, I wasn't going to do readings on them. And that's still a rule with YouTubers. If I work with a YouTuber in private, why would I do a reading on them? That wouldn't make any sense because I already have the information, because I've already helped them in private. It's just weird. It makes no sense. I'm not doing it. So if you are wondering why, you know, there are certain things that I won't do, whatever, those are my rules. I have my own set of rules that I have. If you don't like it, oh well. But if I help someone in private, and if you're a client of mine in private, there's no videos about you. I'm not doing that. That's weird. Not unless they give me permission or want me to do something, but again, that would be weird because I couldn't do a reading on their life because I already had the information, helped them in private. So if I help someone in private, they're just not going to get a video about them and their life. Maybe a collaboration, but I'm not going to do a reading about. That's weird and awkward, and it's not happening. So those are one of my rules. If I work with a client in private, I'm not making public videos about them. That is weird. Okay. What was the next question? I lost my train of thought and I lost my place. Where is it? Oh, here it is. What's the significant reading you've had that you still think about? This video is going to be long, but I don't care. You guys wanted this. It took a while, and you're getting a long video. If you don't want to watch it, I'm sorry. But I had a reading, and this girl came to me, and she was like, I want to know what's going on with this guy. I want to know if he likes me or not. Okay, normal question, very, very common. Didn't think anything of it. I pull the cards. I pull Emperor, I pull Empress, and I pull Queen of Swords. Pull the Three of Swords, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I was like, okay. I was like, well, I see the Emperor, and so that's the guy. I was like, is he older? It's an older man. And she's like, yeah. I said, okay. I was like, but I pulled an Empress. You're not committed, right? No, we don't have anything. We don't have any title. I want to know if he likes me. I'm like, but Emperor and Empress go together. You know, Emperor and Empress is like mom and dad. Emperor and Empress are usually committed. I was like, and I pulled a Queen of Swords. I was like, you're the Queen of Swords. I was like, is there anything you want to tell me? No. I was like, okay. I was like, well, here's what I see. I was like, well, I see the Emperor, but I see the Empress, which means he's already committed to someone. I was like, and the Queen of Swords is upright, and the Three of Swords is heartbreak or breakup, but it's reversed, so I don't see that. And to me, and I don't remember all the cards, but basically what I told her was, listen, I don't see any love here at all. In fact, I don't see any sort of attraction other than physical. I was like, and I'm not seeing love or romance at all. And like, I don't know where you're getting this. I'm like, I see a man who's committed to someone, and then I see you in the middle of this, and I don't know why. And she goes, that's weird. That's so weird. Wow, really? I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I see. And she's like, that's so weird. I can't believe that. Oh my God, really? Oh my God, so okay. No feelings whatsoever? I was like, no, it seems like a physical attraction, maybe purely sex. I was like, but I'm not really seeing romance. And I'm like, you sure he doesn't have anyone? I'm like, because I'm really adamant about this. No, he doesn't have anyone. No, he doesn't have anyone. I'm like, you're sure? I was like, because I'm seeing it. She's like, no, that's weird. You must be picking up on something else. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, that's what I see. I stick to my reading. So, I'm sorry, if you didn't like it, but that's what I see. I see him already committed to someone else. So maybe you should do some snooping. And she's like, okay. Was there anything else in that reading? I was like, no. She's like, And she was kind of just like, And she goes, well, there is one thing, but I don't know if that's what that is. I was like, what? And she goes, well, he is married. I said, excuse me? She goes, yeah, he is married, but I mean, he doesn't care about her. I said, excuse me? I was like, is he in the process of divorcing? She goes, no. Does he have any inclination of telling you? Did he say anything about divorcing? She goes, no. I was like, does the wife know you exist? She goes, no. I said, you told me he didn't have anyone. Well, it doesn't count. I'll never forget this reading. I'll never forget this reading because she triggered me so hard because she literally was acting like I was crazy. I felt gaslit. She was literally gaslighting me like, oh my God, I don't know what you're talking about. Girl, you were sleeping with a married man and you thought that the man was going to leave his wife for you. And I was like, no, it's not happening. And you didn't like that. Now, mind you, I will tell you this. There are a lot of people that go to psychics that do that. That is very common. It happens quite often. But this one was funny because she didn't think I was going to catch her. Now, mind you, I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. All I'm saying is, don't lie to me. If I'm sitting there going, why do I pull Emperor and Empress? And you're sitting up there saying he don't got someone, and that's mom and dad, those people are committed, and you end up saying he's an older man, and then you tell me he's married, like, you tried it. So that's the one that I tell people all the time, and they're like, what the hell? Happens so often. And I'll never forget it because she drove me up a freaking wall. Never heard from her again for a reason, but she was trifling. If you could call your pastor future self and leave them a 30-second voicemail, would you call and what would the message say? Well, if I had to call my past self, I would tell myself, don't change a damn thing about yourself. Everyone that hates you now will regret hating you because you were right. And I would also say you're insanely talented and you need to not listen to other people who tell you that you don't have any talent or skill set. One of the biggest problems I have is if someone would have told me when I was younger that entrepreneurship was a real career choice, it would have been easier. If I wanted to tell my future self something, I don't know what I would say because the future isn't in stone. But if I went to my future self, I'd probably say something like, hey, can you let me know, did we ever find someone with I don't know, a large enough to be satisfied? What's my go-to order at Taco Bell? First of all, I love Taco Bell. It's my favorite place to eat. Hey, my favorite food at Taco Bell, period. Nachos, cheesy, gordita, crunch, fiery. Oh, you will not regret it. I love the nacho fries. I live for the the chicken chips or whatever. I live for all that stuff. I love a nachos Bel Grande. I love nachos in general. I stand Taco Bell. I eat you all the time. I literally mukbang on my stream all the time. People are always buying Taco Bell because of me. So when are you going to sponsor me? Taco Bell, please sponsor me. Do you find that tarot can be a bit too blunt or scary at times for people? I'm very blunt in general, so I think it's a little bit of that's what it is, and also my style. I'm really good at boundaries because I've been through so much bullying and stuff in my life that I've had no choice. One of the things that I always tell people is like, if you're not ready to self-reflect, then tarot's not for you, and that's okay. I'm kind of fearless. I'm an Aries moon. I'm kind of fearless. I don't know. I don't really have too much fear when it comes to stuff like that. If I see something, I'm seeing it for a reason, and I'm just going to tell you the truth. So I don't know. You have to remember I'm channeling, so it's not really me. So I don't really have those feelings because it's not really me. It's like a channel. So, you always come to me when you're ready. People will hear of me for like a while, and people keep mentioning me until eventually they're like, I don't know, it took me a while to really come up to you and warm up to you, and then they warm up to me, and then they come and they get a reading. Like, happens all the time. Like, people will know about me, feel me out, and then approach me. That's kind of how it always happens. My whole life it's been that way. So I think it's just a matter of time. Like, you come to me when you're ready, and you find me when you're supposed to, and when you're ready. You're drawn to me for a reason. Your guides are trying to get you. If everyone was listening to your guides, they would probably be pointing you in my direction. What else do I do in my free time? Nothing. When you literally monetize all of your hobbies on stream, there's not much left. I like to sing. I love to dance. I actually wanted to be a Britney Spears backup dancer when I was younger, just like everyone else. But I actually really love to dance, and I really love to sing. Dancing is literally literally like breathing for me. It really helps me release energy. I love it so much. I wanted to be a gymnast when I was younger, but I wasn't allowed. I just started working out. I had my first workout. One of my friends is a personal trainer, is helping me. And so I had my first workout. I really can't lift my arms because I had an intense workout yesterday, but it was really fun because I'm on Team Get Skinny. I'm getting a revenge body because, let's just say that there are many men, one that I'm thinking of in particular, who, is not interested in me because I'm not hot enough. And so I'm getting the revenge body just to make him eat his words. So he can go F off because I'm going to look super hot and have a super great body, and he's going to beg for me to come back, and I'm going to laugh. Well, I wouldn't say come back, but he's going to basically have his tongue hanging out of his mouth, and that's the whole point. So we're on Team Get Skinny, Team Revenge Body. Nothing like good revenge to motivate yourself, as I always say. Listen, my Mars is in Leo, and it's in the 8th house. There's a little bit of Scorpio in me. What job did you consider if your channel didn't pop off? Well, I gave myself a full year when I first started. I gave myself 6 months, then a full year, and the whole shebang. I won't go super into it, but kind of like when you manifest, you kind of can't have doubt. But what I'll tell you is I always wanted to be a dancer. I was thinking about doing that. I did want to be a singer, but that's kind of like, like entertainer in general. But like I did want to do like dancing or maybe go into choreography or something like that, classes and things like that. I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was younger. I just don't really do well with blood. I was thinking about something with animals. I really love animals. Yeah, I think that's kind of like mostly what I would do. I was thinking about maybe food, but I kind of just like to eat. I don't like to cook. Mood. I'm trying to think what else I was thinking of doing. I don't know. It's hard because I've always kind of just stood out. As an intuitive, you stand out. So I've always just stood out, and I can never really like blend in or anything like that. So like my personality has always just been too strong, where I can't really, I could never really have like a regular job because my personality is just too strong and just bumps everyone around. What are your thoughts on past lives? I had a meditation and I saw my past life. I probably should do a video on that. If you want a video, put it in the comments below and tell me. I had a meditation, I saw my past life, and it explains a lot about me. We have multiple ones. It is a part of us that comes down. So it's like reincarnation. There's a part of us that comes down that's part of our soul, but not us. So like it's familiar, we're connected to it, but it's not one that we lived. It's just like familiar. It's a different piece of our soul that comes down. What was my childhood like? What was childhood like for me? Insanely bullied, tremendously. I've been in so many fights. I should probably tell you guys the million stories that I have of fist fights in school and crazy moments. I went to a very rough school. I grew up very, very, very quickly. My childhood was 100% stolen from me. I was massively bullied. I would get jumped all the time. I was constantly in fights, constantly problems with teachers. I mean, I have been through so much adversity. I've had so much hatred thrown at me my whole life. I never had the opportunity to be well liked, and so I think that's one of the things that's grounded me the most, and one of the things that I'll never get an ego, is because I guess confident as I am, I love myself, right? but I hate myself just enough to not like become egotistical. Yeah, I hate myself just enough, right? Because I never had the opportunity to be well liked. Nobody ever liked me. Nobody ever liked me. And I learned very quickly at a young age that I wasn't ever going to be popular and not everyone was going to like me. And I was okay with that. I didn't want to be well liked by everyone. I wanted to be respected by everyone. So I'm very much adamant about the fact that I don't care if you don't like me, but what you're going to do is respect me. And that is me in a nutshell. I want everyone to respect the hell out of me. And you know what? If you fear me a little bit, so be it. What inspired my username? I've always been obsessed with Aphrodite, and my name is Ant. Easy. And I'm a Gemini, and I'm like really witty, so like I put them together. Duh. No, but I love Aphrodite. I've always been obsessed with her. I've always been obsessed with seduction, the art of seduction. Oh, a Venus, Mars, and Leo in the 8th house is obsessed with seduction. Shocker. I've always had a magnetic pull. People are magnetically drawn to me, especially sexually and sexual partners and dating and stuff like that. People are always drawn to me, and so I've always felt like Aphrodite, where I just kind of like lure them in with my beauty and grace in my head. I already talked about the psychic gene. How would I describe myself? I think I'm really witty. I think I'm really funny. I think I'm really talented, hardworking. I think that I love really hard. I think I am really, really, really a big feeler. I think I am selfless. I think that I love to help other people. I mean, my job is really to help other people. Laughing 24/7, hopefully making people feel better and making them laugh and inspiring them and uplifting them. I am aggressive, I am bold, I am dominant, I am pushy, okay? I am high maintenance, and I am worth it. So that's what it is. This will be the last question in this very long video. Sorry for any of you who didn't want to watch the full thing, but I wanted to give you guys a really big video of like me as a person. What's one vision you can't unsee? Well, I guess we're going to kind of end on a little bit of a sad note. I don't want to give too much away, but people's higher selves jump into my meditation and jump into my safe place all the time. And it's difficult because higher selves sometimes are trying to get your lower self to do things. And one of the visions that I've seen before, and you know, it's not always the same person, but I'm able to see potential suitors and potential people that I'm supposed to date. And it's difficult because it doesn't mean that I'm going to date them. It's hard to explain, and it's really frustrating for me. But you know, certain times my guides and their guides will try to get it to happen, and their higher self will jump into my stuff and be allowed to jump into my stuff and just be in it. And you know, I will see people's higher selves proposing to me, showing me what our life would be like if we were together, you know, showing me what they want to do. And the thing is like, it's not like wishful thinking, because some of these people I don't even want or not even interested in. Some of them I am, some of them I'm not. But the thing is I'm also getting information that has been confirmed accurate about them. So that's how I know it's real. It's like they'll tell me things that are going to happen to them before it happens. And they're like, and this is what someone we want you to be a potential suitor or a soulmate with, or whatever the case may be. And so when you ask me for a vision I can't unsee, it's difficult to have confirmation about the information you're being given while you see yourself and what your life is supposed to be like with them. Because remember, we have paths that we can take, and free will's a bitch. You have the free will decision to do whatever you want, so they decide what they want to do. So it's difficult sometimes to see someone's higher self show you what the two of you are supposed to do and how your life could be, and then give you accurate information about situations and them in general, and then it never happening. It's so difficult. So difficult. It's actually happening to me now, but it's kind of always happening. There's always something like that. And it's very difficult to see. I have learned over the years that it's like, I don't really hold on to it too tightly. I'm kind of like, whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't really let that determine me. That's one thing you should learn about me is I'm very much like, I do this on my own. I make my own choices. I do whatever I want. And my guides will always push me in the direction. They know that they have to literally hit me over the head with information and push things in front of me. Like, they know how rebellious I am. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, I'm rebelling. I do whatever I want. So it's difficult, but that is something that's hard to unsee. It's hard to unsee when you're like given information that's accurate, you're able to confirm that it's accurate, and then you see the two of you in your life and how it's supposed to be, and it doesn't happen. It's really hard. It's so difficult. The amount of painful stuff that I deal with when it comes to love is ridiculous. So I don't know. Love is a mess for me, guys. It's definitely a mess for me, and it's hard. But that's it. That is the About Me video. If you have any more questions, feel free to tweet them at me or Instagram me or whatever. Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, Antphrodite. Celebrity readings will now continue now that this video is out and I'm in the new place. Remember, go to antphrodite.com and sign up for the newsletter to know when private readings are available again, or are going to be available again. I will tweet and post on social media and everything when they are as well. But antphrodite.com, sign up for the mailing list. If you have suggestions for celebrity readings you want me to do, put them in the bio below. Again, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, Antphrodite. I do go live all the time on Twitch. You know, you can come hang out and maybe get a reading if you want. And yeah, I love you guys. And until next time, you know, that's me. Hope you guys still love me, and hope you guys miss me. And yeah. Have a great, great day. I love you guys. Bye.